Hey, welcome everyone to Wizards Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here, Ricardo Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpey Jr., the Washington Wizards. We saw C.J. McCollum, Chris Middleton hit some big shots late as Washington took down Milwaukee 129 to 126. Ray, we'll start with you. You and Cardell shared your keys there in the pregame. What boxes, if any, did you feel Washington checked off en route to their 3-point victory this evening?
Feel like they checked quite a few, to be perfectly honest. They won on the glass. They didn't turn the ball over a lot, and they scored the basketball. They defense left a little bit to be desired. They kind of got bombed from three, but they got the stops that they needed. So, I mean, a win is a win. Sometimes it's just scoring more than the other team. And shout out to Bilal, man. He really dug in defensively down the stretch. I got a couple stops on Giannis, including the last big one to kind of wrap things up. But yeah, I kind of felt like the game was getting away from him in the third. I felt like it was going to be business as usual. Coming out of halftime, kind of sluggish, but they were able to regroup, which they rarely do. So it's good when they're able to dig in there and come from behind and stop a run like that. Typically, a team comes out of halftime with a head of steam, and it usually gets ugly. But the Wizards were able to stop the bleeding soon and regroup and start back on the road to a comeback, and they were able to come away with the win. CJ, man, he was great tonight. 11 for 21, 28 points, 4 for 11 from three. Marvin Bagley Jr. I like his activity. They found him on a lot of cuts, a lot of backdoor cuts, and he was finishing strong inside. We talked about what they would be lacking on the inside without Sarr, and he came in, played with a lot of energy, and was able to contribute. So yeah, man. Like we always say, when they do something, when they don't do something well, they make sure they really put a stamp on it. They did not guard the 3-point line well at all. Milwaukee with 21 threes, but yeah, like I said, they played in just enough defense down the stretch to get the stops they needed. So they came away with the win. Can't ask for much more than that.
Cardell?
Yeah, in the second half, I feel like the Wizards overall outplayed the Bucks. Their three ball got going in the second half. The first half, the Wizards come by a basket from deep. They were 3 of 19, literally shot 15%. But in the second half, they got going, especially in that fourth quarter. The Wizards in the second half shot 58% from deep, 10 to 17 overall, and they shot 58% from the field in the second half. C.J. McCollum, he had a big shot, obviously, down the stretch, that three, side step three, and he had a big clutch assist when he found Chris Middleton trailing that finally put him up. He scored most of his points. He had 28 overall, I believe. He had 18 in the first half, 10 in the second half. But in the second half, I felt like he controlled the game, especially in the fourth. He had 4 assists and 4 rebounds in the second half, and he didn't shoot the ball that way. He 4 of 10, 1 shot off for 50%. But Marvin Bagley, like what Ray said, the activity, just being in the dunker spot, just moving back and forth between the dunker spot, getting behind the Bucks defense, and they lost them. And they were finding help for dunks. For timely dunks. Cam Whitmore, can't say enough about him. He was big. He was big in the second half. He got after Bobby Portis. You could tell that was in the scouting report. Bobby Portis has a reputation as not being a great defender, especially on the perimeter. And he went after him every time. Every time Portis was in front of him, he attacked. Or he got into him and got into it with a step back three or drove right past him and dunked the ball. And he was huge. 13 points, 6 and 9 in the second half, 4 rebounds. I feel like this was his best game of the season, man. He also played solid defense as well. Like, there's really no negatives with Cam. It was almost to the point like, yeah, you got to go on, keep going, get more aggressive. You know what I mean? Especially if Porter's on you, he can't guard you. You know what I mean? And that was the case, man. And with him scoring 13 points off the bench, Marvin Bagley added 14 and 5 in the second half, and then Middleton hit some big shots down the stretch. That was what the Wizards needed to pull it out, man. They outscored the Bucks 58-34 in the paint, and that's a Bilal Coulibaly win. Like, I haven't seen nobody from the Wizards take that challenge and battle that monster on the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, like that ever, like literally ever. We've talked about it for years. When Giannis come to town, he's almost damn near like, all right, he's gonna get 30 and 15. All right, shut up, take away the others. That's just literally what it is. And I mean, he had 26, but he didn't get double-digit rebounds, and he didn't get to 30. You see what I'm saying? And without him just overwhelming the Wizards inside the paint, it put more pressure on their shooters to have to knock down shots, which they weren't able to do as the game went along. And that's what Kevin Porter torching everybody out there, man. Like, could nobody guard him. Obviously, they couldn't put Bilal on him because he got his hands full of Giannis. Everybody else, it was food, man. So outside Kevin Porter Jr., the Wizards did a pretty good job of just, checking everybody, making sure everybody else ain't get carried away. So the points in the paint, 58-34, that's a Bilal Coulibaly stat, like I said. Because normally Giannis, he'll win that by himself. So that's a win. Bench points, Washington, 48-34. I mean, like I said, the big chunk of that was Whitmore, who had 17, and Vucevic, who we haven't mentioned, was huge. Made some timely plays, knocked down some timely shots to keep them in the game in the first half. Most of his production came in the first half, and without it, the game would have been blown open. But he kept them close. With his production, the Wizards were able to stay close. And he finished with 16 points. A couple rebounds in the game, man. So, and I thought Bud was solid. 5 points, 5 assists. He has he was just efficient as far as not turning the ball over and finding guys and helping control the game and giving CJ a breather. So when CJ checked out again, he was able to close out. Justin Champagnie, man, can't say enough about him. That Mr. Dirty work tonight. Like, he was just flying and getting offensive rebounds. He had 6 offensive rebounds. 8 rebounds overall, 6 of them was offensive. He was just flying in, offensive rebounds, all wild and wicked, and just putbacks, tiny putbacks, just winning plays. Winning plays, man. Winning plays, man. So this was a team win. The Bucks has their struggle, but I mean, so do the Wizards, man. So it doesn't matter how the wins come. You take them as they come and move on to the next one, man. And this was right on time because they got a back-to-back. I believe they got to go up to Philly tomorrow, and then they got to come right back here Thursday and play the Celtics. Such is life in the NBA. But a good win, man, considering who's on the other side.
Yeah, for sure. Just piggyback off what you guys mentioned. You talk about Whitmore making Bobby Portis play. Bobby Portis pay. I thought Bagley's activity on the glass kind of exposed Miles Turner's lapses at times. We know Turner's a good defender, but I don't know wherever he was supposed to be tonight, he was never there. Bagley, we saw routinely on the glass by himself, cutting back door by himself. And it was costly. And that's one of the things where I think some people don't realize, like, I know Brook Lopez way slower, obviously things of that nature, but there's a little bit of a lapse there in terms of just being where you're supposed to be at times. And shout out to Bagley for taking advantage of that. You talk about Bilal, for sure. No, I think that's the first time I think I've seen like Giannis actually frustrated playing the Wizards, like actually bothered. Like,
imagine how that goes when real defense is being played. You go figure, man. Like, yeah. All of a sudden, guys don't look as good as – and Giannis is great. I'm just saying, they just don't look the same.
Dude.
The defense is being played. But
Bilal was routinely up underneath him. The things that make Giannis great, he, low man wins. He was up underneath Giannis all night. All the random travel calls, Giannis was rarely on balance. And then I love the way that Keyshawn randomly, sporadically would decide when I'm going to dig down too. So now there's both of us at 6'9". When you're stopped, try to regain your balance and look to kick out the ball. His hands, there's nowhere else to go. Like you said, obviously somebody got loose. Kevin Porter Jr. got loose. But for the most part, they kept everybody else at bay. But that is legitimately, like you said, when you were saying the Coulibaly game, That's the biggest thing I walk away with. None of this other stuff matters or at all, because if Giannis has a normal Giannis night against the Wizards, we're here talking about the thing we're always talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the points in the paint being like something Washington won by 20, and Giannis played damn near the entire game. Like, that's nuts. So credit to them. And then again, what's so annoyingly frustrating, so defense can be played. It's actually possible. The level of denial that, like, no, it was textbook denied defense. Like, what the? It was just, I was happy to see it, but incredibly frustrated because I was like, so that's cool that it happened tonight. Like you said, there's more games this week. Is it okay if I see it again before we get to 2026? That'd be great. You mentioned Champagne's activity. Again, still one of the best contracts in the NBA. His production is crazy. He was flying all over the place tonight. And you talk about a total team win. You can't tell the story what happened tonight without Champagne's contributions. And Whitmore off the bench. Like, Washington's bench, low-key, might be the silver lining this year. They continue to provide support on a nightly basis. I can only think like maybe 1 or 2 games where they didn't really get anything. I know it's not like 5 or 6 people on a regular basis, but usually it's Whitmore, Corey, when healthy or whatnot, Champagne. Like, you're getting contributions, and it helps to swing games. So if you guys have nothing else to add, it's up on the screen.
Man, I'm gonna give it to CJ, and it's not just the leading scorer, just the 2 plays down the stretch. The assist to Chris Middleton when he was trailing to really put it up, to get him out in front, and then that sidestep 3 in front of the Bucks bench. It was just clutch play after clutch play, and you starting to see how they move forward as far as the team. They're looking to keep it close, and then all of a sudden get the ball to CJ and win the game. And he's been getting it done when it's been close. He's been able to try to secure the win, man. So, big time play from him, especially in the clutch.
Right. Another candidate.
Now one with CJ as well. This is what I think they were looking for it to be like. The youngins, they found their way through the game as it went on, and then, like Cardell pointed out, when it was winning time, the veteran got it done for him. So yeah, he was every bit of that tonight.
All right, X factor for you guys. I think I know this one too, but go ahead.
Nah, man, this one was actually tough because there's so many guys that contributed, but I'm gonna just go with Koulibaly because of the defense he played on Giannis. If he don't do his job defensively, this all the stuff we just talked about when we talked about.
All right, X factor.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a crowded field, but yeah, I think you gotta go with Bilal because, like Al pointed out, usually it's a Giannis massacre when he come in his building. And that was something I noticed too, Wilson, that he was actually he looked frustrated. Like I've never seen that before when he played them. Typically, as he comes in, has his way, gets his numbers, and sits down. It wasn't like that tonight. You could even tell down the stretch when it was close, and he looked like he was trying to impose his will in the game, and he couldn't do it. So yeah, man, shout out to Bilal.
Yeah, that was my pick as well. Like, again, none of this. We're not here right now. This outcome doesn't happen if Giannis just has a regular ho-hum. Giannis plays the Wizards night, which is usually 35 plus, 12 boards, and like 7 assists.
12 boards, he like Wilson. No disrespect.
Hey, I'm trying to be kind, but y'all know what them numbers look like. Like,
but let me ask y'all something. All we hear nowadays is how so much spacing and the pace of the game, guys are unguardable, right? They played the number 1 3-point shooting team, like, who has a monster inside, one of the greatest ever do it, right? And their defense is the reason why they were able to pull this out. Yeah, they made shots, but they kept the monster in check, even though they bombed them. but they kept the defense. But they when the game was on the line, they got out there and got stops. They got turnovers. They was digging down, getting back out there. But yeah, my question to you guys is, if it's how can that happen if everything people been saying is true?
I think the answer is in front of us. It's natural. Like,
Okay, I thought I'm the only one, man.
I mean,
okay, so it can be done.
but like that's the fun part about that one extremely one-sided narrative that people paint is stuff evolved, right? All right, that's cool. That means the other side evolved too. If people did it, but they don't. Like that's the thing. There's a preference here. There's a choice.
But what I'm trying to get point. Here's what I'm trying to say. Yes, offense can look evolved when there's no defense being played.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff can look evolved. Like come on now. Like, you already handicapping them with the rules. Guys coming in with the lowest defensive IQ I've ever seen in my life, or coming in the league with that. Then they get out here and they have no concept, and then you throwing all these wicked sets and guys are shooting threes. Of course they're gonna look crazy. But if you have a concept of defense, especially as a team, OKC is proving it as we speak. They're running through the league. They are unbothered right now. You see what I'm saying? It had been for about a year and a quarter. About to be a year and a half. So what do they lead with? A crazy defensive team. 1 through 15, everybody they bring in 2 ways they shot. So this is why we were kind of high on the Wizards when the season started. We said if they defend, play in possibly, because they're young. They got to figure out how to win. We were encouraged by CJ and Chris Middleton, the ultimate professionals, and they had, man. We seen some vets come in, they be pouting already, ready to get me out of here. But they in their zone, working, doing their job, and they getting their feet on and they teaching these youngers how to win, how to really win. You see what I'm saying? So you starting to see the signs and stuff of it moving to a more positive direction, which is what is key. But for this young team to turn this thing around, which we stated when they won that second game, they still a few games out. It's not like they totally out of it. They go on like a 3 or 4 game winning streak. They right back in the playing situation, right? You know what I'm saying? So my point is, why can't they do this every night in, night out? Now Bilal I'm pretty sure Bilal just getting his rhythm because he's out for a minute to start the season. Had to get a few games under his belt to get his rhythm. But come on, man, he took on a monster, and he's a wing, and he ain't a big like LeBron built wing, man. That's a slim, but he's a freak athlete though. You know, at 6'9" and stuff like that with the length and everything like that, and that ball's along. Be honest. So why can't they do this all the time? Is the question, man. And my thing is with them, if you could do it tonight, you should be able to bring it every night. I'm not saying you're gonna win every night, but give yourself a chance to win. If you do this, if you defend every night, you give yourself a chance to win. And that's all we can ask for. Then you know what I'm saying? It's all respect. Because we understand you young and you trying to build rest, man. But you can't have what we've been seeing for most of the season. No.
Like that's the thing is we see there's too wide a gap between the two extremes. Can we find a place somewhere close to just can the consistent thing be max effort on defense? And like you said, we can live with it, but the gap's so damn wide. You can't do this, bother a top 5 player in the league to this extent one night. And then was it a couple nights ago against Indiana, get bombed by TJ McConnell and company? I know Siakam led the charge, but like the entire Pacers organization was scoring in that game. You know what I'm saying? It just can't be that wide of a gap. It can't, especially when what you have here in terms of the young players you have, got a bunch of them that are built for that end of the floor.
Yes, they are. And can switch and all that, guard multiple positions.
mm-hmm.
Like, nah, man, like it's just a 1-2, man. And everybody like, hey, man, you know, they can soft tissue injuries. They're gonna be fatigued. They're gonna be tired. You're supposed to be tired when you play basketball and you play hard, bro. You should be tired. Like, I want to go back home and get some rest. That should be the case. Yes.
Or if you like get this, I know this is crazy. If you push yourself to give max effort on both ends, your body might get accustomed to doing it. I know this is nuts. You know.
That too.
Just one. J-Dub just got back on the floor with the Thunder. You know, his hand was hurt. You know what? You know, apparently what he was able to keep in shape, the rest of his body, because he was out there sliding them things like he'd been on the floor with the team the entire season. So,
come on, man. Crying about rest. Y'all got cryo chambers and masseuse and therapists and all this, man. Come on, dog. Acupuncture on the back waiting on you. Come on, bro. Like, it's a 1-2, dog. Like, come on, man. All these excuses, man. Either you want to play defense and win or you don't, man.
And if you don't, that's cool. Just like
go play somewhere else now.
Save me from the narrative. That's it. Like, if we don't want to do it, cool, don't do it. Also, don't put that other crap. I don't want to hear the other stuff. Like, that's my rule. I'm cool. If it's more evolved, show me the more evolved defense, and I promise you, I'll shut up and be like, oh my goodness, I've never seen that before. This is evolution. Instead, I'm like, so you only work on that, and you know that, and you don't care. Yeah, I'm turning this off. Like, that's what it is. Can't do it, man.
Just because it's evolution don't mean it's always for the good better, though.
It evolved, though, right? The wrong way. But we got a couple comments. Let's get these out here real quick. Man, a win last week, a win this week. Let's go. Like, all jokes aside, the crazy part is, what is this, win number 3? There's 6 games behind Milwaukee because that's the life that Milwaukee, like, that's the life the East is in right now. That 3 wins doesn't have you at the bottom of the. But again,
hey, look, I don't think people understood when Tatum went down and Halliburton went down. People was like, the East wide open, dog. Like, it's up for grabs, man. Garland not healthy for the Cavs. He can't stay healthy. The Raptors on one. Detroit was on the heat early, but they starting to play the better teams now, so we're going to really see what they're made of. Orlando up and down. Hey, the East up. I mean, the Knicks here and there, Philly started out on fire, and they done came back. It's up for grabs, though. Who won it? And y'all better hope that light-skinned dude in Boston don't come back too. Like, he don't come back, man. I'm just saying, man, create some separation.
You want to know what? If he does come back and nobody took advantage of it, that's on you. That's completely.
You deserve whatever you get at that point.
Thank you. That's something you earned at that point, right? So we have to keep this type of play up. Talk about what you guys were talking about earlier. CJ been on one. To that comment about to the conversation we were having about defense, we don't do it every night because they be trying to slide them puppies and play with heart. We just lay it down. He said tonight they fought back.
Yeah, defense is hard work. Yes, I know for because I was one of those guys. Yeah, it's draining. It's hard work. You don't feel like doing it. You don't even feel like practicing it. But if you're a competitor, you understand it is mandatory if we want to walk out of here with more points than these other fools, and we're on top. So, cool. I'd rather be tired every time because I'm not about to just settle for a L. They got to get in that type of mindset. And yeah, exactly, dog. Like, you young, dog. Come on, dog. You wake up out of bed and windmill, dog. You ain't got to stretch and nothing, man. Come on, man. That too. Oh, you on mute?
My bad. I'll say he said tire yourself out and get a sub. Yeah. Again, y'all have nothing but young kids up and down this roster outside of a couple babysitters. Like, man.
Follow the blueprint right now, the OKC blueprint. Yep, they go all out. They know they got the backup that he can come in. He gonna get the job and hold it down. And also, it's competition. Let's keep it real. You get paid off how you play in the minutes you play. So if you keep raising your hand talking about you tired, coach can be like, hey, you know what? We need to reel in his minutes and get that to somebody else. And when it starts affecting the bottom line, all of a sudden you get in great shape all of a sudden.
Best shape of your life year coming up immediately. Never fails. To that point, we're talking about you guys mentioned earlier, saying that Detroit looks hungry. I wish Philly was healthy. This would have been a year to process, possibly could have made it.
Man, leave that alone, dog.
Not even. I'm not. I'm just gonna, we appreciate
you.
Yeah,
bro.
We appreciate your comments. We look forward to seeing those same comments tomorrow evening after Washington takes on Philly on the road on the second night of a back-to-back. And again, just what we all agree with this is if that's a level of defense you can play, that effort you can give it. I don't want to see a backslide to Timbuktu tomorrow evening, regardless of the outcome. Just I can't do the either we're really locked in or it's just I can't live like that. It's too much, man. Gap is just way too big. But we appreciate y'all. We'll check in with y'all tomorrow evening.